Excellent. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to New Jersey's Lead Service Line Replacement Program update. I'm Mark McDonough, President of New Jersey American Water, and I'm very excited today to talk to you all about the progress we've been making in this very important program. As most of you know, New Jersey American Water is the largest regulated utility in New Jersey, and we operate in about 18 counties, 190 municipalities. And we have the undertaking from the governor's law not long ago of replacing all lead or removing all lead and galvanized lines from our systems. So we just want to take a couple minutes today and talk to everybody about this very important program and talk about the tremendous progress our team has made so far 3 years into this program. So before I do that, what I'd like to do is just take a minute to introduce you to the team, the main characters in the team that have been doing a lot of the effort to get this program out. So the folks you're going to hear from today, first is Richard Conklin, our senior project engineer. Then you'll hear from Aman Hall, our project manager for water quality and environmental compliance. And then finally, you'll hear from Chelsea Culp, our senior manager of government and external affairs, because communicating with your citizens is one of our biggest projects. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off and let Rich talk about where we are in the progress of the program.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining. For those that may not be familiar with the program, I just want to touch base on some of the key points to get you up to speed of where we're at. Some of you may be aware back in 2021, New Jersey enacted a law that requires drinking water systems to inventory service lines, notify residents, and plan for the replacements of all the service lines by 2031. This is a major undertaking. In addition, galvanized steel lines are now considered lead. So lead and galvanized are treated in the same manner. In 2021, we have notified customers with known lead or galvanized steel service lines for the first time via certified mail, and then the following years with regular mailers, regular letters. New in this year, customers with unknown services will receive letters and helpful information about how they identify and report the material of the line that brings the water into their homes. We also last month began providing customers with pitcher filters after replacements. This is in accordance to the LCRR regulations. So for those of you that know, our local operations teams, qualified contractors, and our partners at CDM Smith help identify service line materials and replace lead and galvanized service lines as safely and effectively as we can. We do, when we do this to your community to complete service line replacements outside of the traditional main replacement projects, we do our best to complete in a trenchless manner to be as less intrusive as possible. So essentially, we're digging over the water main. We try to dig in the grass area just around the curb box, and then we try to get inside the home. And from there, we can either pull the water mains and/or they use what's called either a bullet or a mole, and that pushes the service line through. So at all costs, we try to minimize, doing extra excavations. As I mentioned before, we are continuing to replace water mains throughout our system as part of our annual improvements. During these projects, if lead or galvanized service lines are found, we will work with the homeowners to have them replaced as well. So we want to talk about some of the milestones and some of our progress. We are working towards in the coming year, and we stand today. So since the legislation became law, the New Jersey DEP has annual compliance reports that we complete. In July, we submitted our most recent reporting to the state, which we are proud to share that we replaced 10,000 services of lead or galvanized. We currently have about 22,000 known lead or galvanized services that we're whittling away at. Though this process is, a great start, we still have 400,000 service lines that are not identified yet. This is a huge undertaking for us. We have made great progress, but with thousands of lines left to be replaced and many more that have to be yet to be identified, we're continuing on the continued support of our customers and you, our elected leaders and community partners, to help us get the word out about the program so we can continue to get this done quickly and efficiently. So that leads us into one of the more exciting things that we're trying to whittle away the 400,000 unknowns. This fall, we will implement the use of predictive modeling in our 7 largest water systems throughout the state. The use of this type of technology has been approved by the New Jersey DEP as a tool for utilities to help enhance their water system line inventory database while keeping costs for the identification low. Predictive modeling is a statistical approach to service line inventory development that will minimize impact on the majority of our customers and save both time and money by reducing in-person inspections and test pits across the service area. The more representative data that the model has, the more accurate and robust the outputs will be. We are working to have a dedicated web page on our LeadFacts website that will include more information on this effort and specifically frequently asked questions that customers and stakeholders may have. Now, with that being said, I will turn this over to Eamon, who will be providing more information on pitcher filters.
Thank you, Rich. Beginning last month, we began to distribute pitcher filters after all lead or galvanized steel service line replacements ahead of the mandated timeline under the U.S. EPA regulations. Recently, in the past couple of days, the EPA has released the LCRI, the Lead and Copper Rule Improvements, which delays the implementation of pitcher filter handouts for 3 years. However, New Jersey American Water has decided it's in the best interest of our customers to begin distributing these pitchers ahead of the regulation deadline. We have developed a dedicated frequently asked questions section on our website about pitcher filters, and customers will receive a postcard from American Water approximately 3 to 6 months following their service line replacement to offer a water sample. As mentioned earlier, our water quality continues to meet standards. These filters provide an extra layer of protection during the transition period after a service line has been replaced. Now I will pass it off to Chelsea, where she will highlight our customer communications that has been supporting this effort since launch and ways in which you can help.
All right, so we covered a lot today. This has been some great content, and we wanted to share an update on customer education that we've been running since the start of the program. The first step, though, is I want to share where you and residents can find out more information on the program, as it's all online on our website. We hope you are familiar with the site already, but just in case, you can visit newjerseyamwater.com/leadfacts to learn more about the program overall and the efforts we are making to meet the goal of removing all lead and galvanized service lines by 2031. While you're there, you can also view our inventory map, search your address or any other address, and if a customer side of your service line is listed unknown, you can self-ID it. We have the steps listed in video form as well as written form to help you guide you through that process. We also have a robust frequently asked questions section, which has been mentioned before, that has a lot of common questions about the program with their answers. But if for some reason there's a question that is being asked that's not listed, customers can easily reach out to our local lead team by filling out the Contact Us form on the webpage or by simply emailing us at leadfreenj@amwater.com. Finally, our full website is translated into Spanish, which you can toggle on and off by clicking the Espanol button on the top right of the screen. And that goes for any of the pages on our website. This customer education campaign has been multifaceted since we launched. Next slide. Oh, I can do it. Oops, sorry. Lost my spot. Okay, so this customer education campaign has been a multifaceted since we launched in 2022. We deployed an omni-channel education campaign approach by integrating our messages across various outlets with a unified message and providing customers with a unified experience to learn about the program and to take action. It continues to be an ongoing campaign to help educate and empower our customers about the importance of this program, as well as how they can actively get involved. You can see on the slide the other areas where we have had continued to focus on strengthening the awareness of this program, and that includes our stakeholder education, like webinars like this, partnerships around this program with you all, as well as localized engagement with the goal of identifying the lead and galvanized steel service lines and getting agreements signed by property owners to have them ultimately replaced at no direct cost to them. We continue to monitor this campaign, and we evolve and plan to evolve and improve it to align with our operations and projects in the field. The goal of this campaign is to keep the cost of a self-ID and or a canvasser in the field lower than the cost to send a truck to test pit to identify a service line material. Typically, a test pit doing a test pit is estimated to be between about $500 to $1,000 a property. So our mission critical objective for this campaign is to keep the cost of an ID lower than $500. Measurement, testing, and reporting are crucial to ensure that the resources that are being deployed are effective to drive self-identification. And by tracking this closely through biweekly reporting and a live dashboard, we're able to track these cost metrics, which is measured by cost per click and cost per ID to make real-time adjustments to our campaign. As a result, to date of the campaign, since it started, we have been able to drive over 18,000 self-reports while keeping the cost of self-report IDs under $25. Given the estimate cost of test pits, this means that the campaign to date has saved customers millions of dollars and counting. In the coming weeks, due to EPA regulations, customers with unknown service line material will be receiving a letter from us to inform them of this and to provide them with helpful information on how to identify their service line material. As you may remember from a previous slide, this is going to be a large mailing, and we wanted to make sure that our elected officials and our key partners in the communities we serve are aware of this outreach effort. This education campaign is currently live now and is helping to ensure that our customers are not surprised when they receive this letter. And hopefully, they've already taken the action to self-ID. Back in September, we worked closely with the Department of Environmental Protection to send out press releases jointly about this effort that all water providers must take action on. If customers do have questions after they receive this letter, our customer service center is equipped to answer general questions about this outreach, but customers can also be directed to our local team if it's more specific, and our team in here can that's specific to this program can help through the lead-free NJ@amwater.com email. Community and stakeholder engagement, as we've mentioned a lot through today's webinar, is a really important way to help educate and empower our customers and your residents to help on this effort. As trusted leaders within your community, you play a very important role in this program, and that's why today we're asking for your continued help and support. We understand that there are so many initiatives within your town, so together, we put together a toolkit last year with various communication tools to make it easy for you to help educate your residents on this program. Just like our education campaign, we've recently updated this toolkit with fresh and new content, and we highly encourage everyone to take a look at our website to explore it in more detail. We will send this toolkit to you via email after today's webinar, but we'll also provide the online link where it will be available for duration that you can share with others. As you can see, the toolkit includes talking points, social media graphics and captions, a template email, template letter, and a printable one-pager fact sheet that you can have at locations throughout your community that make the most sense that you feel residents might find it valuable. Here on the screen, you can see snippets of this toolkit, which will be sent out after the webinar, as well as updated on our website. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Mark.
Great. Thanks, Chelsea. Hopefully, we had a question about whether people could hear when Mom was speaking. We can have him touch on any questions people may have about the pitcher filters. Plus, this is being recorded so people can go back and listen to that section. We'd love to answer any questions anybody has at this time. Chelsea, they put those in the chat or in the Q&A section, I suppose.
I don't see any specific questions. I'm just looking at the chat. So we can give it a couple minutes to see if any questions come through.
So for those of you out there, it's been a very, did we get a question?
We did. Do pitcher filters work on lead?
The pitcher filters are NSF certified to reduce the lead levels in drinking water. NSF is an independent testing and certification brought to products on the market, and these pitcher filters are designed to remove levels of lead containing 150 parts per billion. These are the appropriate pitchers that should be used, pitcher to filter combo that should be used in trying to mitigate the risk of lead in drinking water.
Excellent. I saw, Chelsea, you put the FAQ on pitcher filters in the chat. Very much appreciated. It's, one thing maybe I'll comment on for those of you who are wondering. So with the state has a law around lead service lines and the federal government has one. So if you're wondering, why the pitcher filters now, it's somewhat of an evolving process through the regulation. So we just wanted to get out there and get out front of it. We see again people saying they couldn't hear Mom. I'll just reiterate. Hopefully, people are hearing me. He mentioned that they were NSFT approved for the removal of lead, and though it's rare, with the disturbing of the line when you remove it, it can on occasion cause an increased amount of lead for a few months. So the pitcher filters are just an extra protection for the homeowners. Although obviously, as we said, we meet or surpass all standards with the process of treatment that we use and the distribution process that we use. It's really just suspenders and a belt, perhaps to say.
And the fact sheet that you can see on the screen to what to do after your service line has been replaced. This is a document that's provided to customers after a service line is replaced, and we're providing them that picture to give them those steps on what they can do and how they, what they should be doing with it. But also on the back side, there's also some general questions. So one of them is right to that point, Nancy. So we're making sure that those homeowners are getting that information with that pitcher filter, and then our team is here to answer any more specific questions if they have any afterwards.
Okay, we'd love to have some more questions if anybody has them. We know it can be a hot button issue in towns. I think we mentioned that we've reached 10,000 owner side lines replaced. It's really been an amazing effort. From time to time, by the way, while we have people out canvassing, talking to homeowners before, you may get calls if you're, a town official. But there you go, Nancy. Excellent question. How much notice are residents getting when work is happening? Rich, you wanna?
There we go. I couldn't get off mute. I apologize. So essentially, we're trying to get letters, mailers out at least 2 weeks before any work is there. I think that's a pretty consistent type thing. We also try to get it on municipal websites as early as possible. We try to meet early on. There's plenty of stuff that we ask that you can post. And then there's subsequent, as necessary, there's subsequent communications that go out. I know a good standard practice that we do is a copy of the original mailer that went out. If we're going on a particular street, we try to drop that off, beforehand to let them know that we're coming. So we try to over communicate, if that makes sense. And then if we're there for a while, we do try to maybe do another follow-up letter if necessary.
Thanks, Rich. Yeah, Nancy, I see that you're in Maplewood. So we've been working really closely with the administration there because there were some opportunities for us to be able to do additional communication in Maplewood. So we're ramping up a more targeted campaign once we and just more support specifically in Maplewood, just the uniqueness of different languages and really just trying to do the best that we can with the work that we will start back in 2025. So I believe based on our operations team, we're not doing too many more replacements in Maplewood currently, but I can definitely connect with you afterwards to get more specifics on it. But we do anticipate really trying to build in more time there because we got some of that feedback as well earlier this year, and so we want to definitely work with residents to make it a good experience for them when they're getting their service lines replaced. So I appreciate you flagging that up. If there's any other questions?
Okay. Well, maybe I'll just make one other comment too. This is a long-term program, although we're making great progress. It is a long-term program, so we hope to continue to take feedback, get better, get crisper. These fall letters, again, be prepared. As Chelsea mentioned, we have under the law a requirement to contact more homeowners, more residents. So we're here. We have a dedicated team, and we're very open to help. You know, if your town has a particular way or a good methodology for communicating or just getting people real, calm about this, it's such an important program. We're all ears to work with you and help figure that out. But the team has done a tremendous job, and we do also recognize that we have had, sometimes we have to enter a home to check on the service and things of that nature. So, we want people to be as calm. We want our contractors to be safe. We want the residents to be safe. We want our employees to be safe. So, we're working hard to ensure that everybody has good information and is properly vetted as we go through this. Any last thoughts, Chelsea, or anything I should touch on?
No, I think that's great. I mean, we can give it one more minute and see if there's any other questions that come through. But just appreciate everyone that joined live today with us to just hear this progress report. Our team's always available, as Mark said, for any questions or any feedback, because we really want this to be a good experience for your residents and our customers. And this will be available online. So if there's anyone that has not been able to join, they'll be able to watch a recording of this as well as be able to access that toolkit, which will be on our lead facts page this afternoon. Okay. I think you're good, Mark. You want to close this out?
Happy to do it again. Thank you all for your time and for your patience as we work through this very important project. And we look forward to continuing to drive forward and having it be a success. But again, it's just a tribute to the partnership we have with towns, and we're here to partner with you on this, as with everything. So please do not hesitate to let us know if you have any thoughts or concerns. Otherwise, have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.